tell us a little bit about playing for Roy Williams. And for those who didn't get to know him as personally as you did, what was that experience like? And what are some things that we might not know about from the outside looking in?
Yeah, well, I think one cool thing about Coach Williams is that like a lot of people have never met him, but they know him. Like a lot of Carolina fans, like they kind of imagine what he would be like based on his persona and his personality and the way he does interviews and reading his book and everything. And as someone who spent a ton of time around him, like he's exactly that. There's some people that fall short of your expectation in real life, but he's one that like hits that to a T and then even exceeds it. Like he's just so genuine, so nice. Everything he says is honest. Like he won't sugarcoat anything. He's just honest, and that's one thing I love about him. And he's got the southern drawl and the charm of being who he is. And he's really helped me a lot, even post my playing career. If I ever need anything or talking to him, and he helped me with a lot of stuff for even my wedding. Something that he never needed to help me with. And he's just such a great guy, and I love seeing how happy he is now, like cheering for Coach Davis's success and everything. So I just I wish everyone that like admired him the way I do got a chance to meet him because they would be, blown away with how he exceeds their expectations of like what a good person he is. And see, I just did all that, didn't even talk about basketball. Like that's like 5% of it. So yeah, he's a great guy.
What you said, it speaks so like perfectly, I think, because I never met him even as a student there. Like you wave at him on campus or whatever. And at games, you're waiting outside to go into the Duke game, all that, or any game, right? Um, and I feel like I know
Like
him.
he's
Like
your
I feel like
grandpa. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like if I saw him in the grocery store, I'd be like, "Hey, coach," and I'm sure a lot of people do that in the grocery store. It's probably not a good example, right? But I feel like I really know him, and I feel like that's such a perfect way to describe him. Do you have any fun or funny stories from playing under him?
Oh man. I have a
Countless, I bet.
bunch.
Any that come to mind?
Yeah, well, I guess just the one we always the one we always joke about is this is a basketball story is that Kennedy everyone knows from my time at Carolina like Kennedy and Bryce were his favorite to kind of like get at and give a hard time to because they were the key to us going from like a decent team to a championship level team and they did that obviously but he we were in practice and Kennedy was, kind of being not focused, not locked in, and oh, sorry, my dogs. And
We allow
he,
pets here.
yeah, no, he's awesome. He basically was kind of like sandbagging it through practice, and Coach Williams stops practice and like walks up to him, and he's like, "You think you're some stud?" And he's like, he's like up to here on Kennedy, and he's like, "20 years ago, I would have kicked your ass." And it's like, bro, like we always laugh about that when we get together because Coach is so nice and he's always so like level-headed and yeah, he gets mad and stuff sometimes, but he had enough that day and he just got all tough and macho and he just had like surgery or something. So it's like, come on, Coach, like you versus Kennedy, I think we're gonna pick Kennedy every time. But if you would have asked him for real, he would have believed that he'd win that fight, and that's just
Really?
the kind of guy he is.